welcome inside the 7 Sports Cave. A big episode today as I'm joined by two of 97.1 The Ticket's finest, latest, and greatest personalities on the airwaves over at that station.
I don't think any of our listeners would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard.
Two most annoying personalities. I would say maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, finest, annoying, you know, fill in the blank.
Negative Nancy's.
Yeah, annoying. Did I mention that?
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah. Awful voice.
Oh, and annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. That's
Hot take.
Jeff Rieger, a.k.a. Kermit the Frog.
I hear the initials DB a lot. I don't know what that means. David Brandon? What does that mean?
Dave Brandon, yeah.
Oh, is that what that means?
Kyle Bogey as well. What do they call you?
David Brandon.
DB.
The Bogey Kid.
Yeah, my initials are KB, but really they're DB. So,
Well, listen, guys, we got lots to get to today. Thank you so much for joining us at home tonight. Big win for the Lions today. Big win for Michigan yesterday. An embarrassing loss for Michigan State yesterday. Oh, we got lots to get into. At any point you guys want to jump in the conversation, please do. Use the hashtag 7SportsCave. We'll get to your tweets later on in the broadcast. But let's start with what happened at Ford Field earlier today. Look, Lions took care of business today. I mean, especially in that first half. Aaron Rodgers is going to Aaron Rodgers. We can get to that in a minute. But this was the first time I think we saw them come out with some conviction and execution in that first half. What did you guys see?
Well, go ahead. Are you sure?
I mean, thing one or thing two want to take this.
I was just going to say, I mean, you saw the defense get after Aaron Rodgers, and you set up Matthew Stafford with a short field. It makes things a lot easier. You got the nice bounce on the muff punt, you know, to start the game. You're at the 1 yard line, the Garrett Blount, you know, just punching it in right there. And let's be real, the Lions took advantage of a lot of mistakes from the Green Bay Packers. Mason Crosby, the poor guy, giving up 13 points for the Packers. I mean, that in an NFL game, particularly one that's going to be that close, that was absolutely huge. But kudos to the Lions for, again, taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the Mason Crosby thing was hysterical. I mean, it really was. Actually, what he just missed again. And I loved it, by the way, too, that the Packers had to go for it on 4th and 10 in the second half in the third quarter. And Crosby's trotting out there to attempt the field goal. And Mike McCarthy's like, no, get back here. Get back. Are you crazy? You're not going back out there. And they converted on 4th and 10. So, listen, Mason Crosby has killed the Lions on several different occasions. So that was fantastic to see. Also good to see that the Lions hang on. I think we knew that Aaron Rodgers and company would make a run. They did. I think we all thought they were going to lose the game. They almost did. But when it's all said and done, it's not a great team, but it was a nice win.
I definitely think that, you know, this certainly was the best half of football that the Lions put together on all fronts. They took advantage. They created some advantages as well. You got to talk about how they got to Aaron Rodgers, sacked him, fumbled. You know, getting the gift turnover on the first one is one thing, but going out there and creating turnovers and getting stops is another thing. Deshaun Hand, he might be the best beyond Kerryon Johnson. He might be the best draft pick that they picked from this year's class.
Well, look, we've given Bob Quinn a lot of flack. You know, as much praise as we gave him, I think, after that first draft, he's gotten a lot of flack since then, and deservedly so. But Deshaun Hand, 4th-round pick, a rookie who's performing as well as any defensive lineman in the NFL. Another great performance today. Kerryon Johnson, a 2nd-round pick, needs to get more moving forward. I think everyone's been clamoring for that. But that's, you know, another key guy moving forward. And Kenny Golladay, a couple more touchdowns today. That's a 3rd-round pick from, you know, just a little over a year ago. They're emerging as playmakers for the Lions.
And I will say that the Lions also activated Amir Abdullah for the first time today. I don't think I saw him run an offensive snap.
Thank goodness.
He returned the kick to start things
but
out.
I'm saying, like, as far as they didn't go back to the reverting to the old ways of like, well, he's activated, we might as well put him in the lineup.
But here's the thing, and all Lions fans do it, and we're going to do it too, right? So who is this team, right? So they get blown out, obviously, by the Jets. That was a gift that the NFL gave the Lions, and they obviously didn't take advantage. They go, and Jimmy G takes advantage of them. They start 0-2, right? They beat the Patriots, and everybody's like, we're back, baby. We're back. You took Tom Brady. You rubbed his face into that turf over there at Ford Field. We're back. And then they go on the road, and they make Dak Prescott, a bad quarterback, look absolutely amazing. Then, you know, you saw what happened today. And let's be honest, okay? Again, I don't want to be negative Nancy. Usually this is his job.
Oh, please.
He's the hot take artist. But you got to point out that, you know, no Randall Cobb, no Geronimo Allison. And it was very nice that the Lions secondary, even with Darius Slay not playing all that great, was able to cover these guys, which resulted in some pressure, at least early on in the first half, on Aaron Rodgers. So, again, as Jim Leland used to always say, it's not who you play, it's when you play them The Lions have been fortunate that they played the Patriots and the Packers when they've played them.
Right.
And we'll wait and see what happens. But are they real? Probably not.
Well,
but today was fun.
Yes.
Today was a good day if you're a Lions fan, certainly. You can go into the bye week happy. Matt Patricia said as much in his post-locker room celebratory hoorah, if you want to call it. But look, you come back and you go on the road to a Miami team that was up 17-0 on a average Cincinnati team and then blew it. So you got to think, looking ahead, this schedule, until they get to the Rams, which they're just going to probably blow the doors off this team, that'll show you how close they are to the elite teams, or the good teams, if you will.
The problem for me is, and I couldn't help but keep thinking about this as the game was actually going on, and you can tell me if you guys were doing the same. Why didn't they get that win in Dallas? Like you could have been sitting 3-2, heading to the bye. Like, that's so frustrating that they couldn't take advantage, because that's what we do.
Why didn't they start on time in San Francisco?
That's what the Lions do to us. I understand. Why didn't they get their head right and figure things out a little bit sooner? Because
why didn't Barry win a playoff game? Oh, wait, he did.
The season would matter a little bit more, and you actually could take a breather for a couple of weeks. 3-2, you could play the schedule game a little bit. I know how fond of the schedule game
Love
you are.
the schedule game.
But right now, until we see them get over 500 maybe at some point, we can't really say, well, playoffs? You know, do they have a shot? Are they a contender?
Well, I wanted to bring that up, though, because, Jeff, I listened to you in the postgame.
My condolences. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it was absolutely just riveting radio. But I listened.
That's sarcasm. I don't need that.
The 7 sarcasm cave. Did you get the memo? But I was listening to you, and fans were calling in, and one guy in particular was talking about the playoffs. And, hey, if we can win the rest of our 5 home games and steal a couple on the road, we're looking at a wild card spot. And I'm going, what? Yeah, we've seen this team.
That's my reaction.
Yeah, exactly
my reaction. It's usually how I say. No, but you know, there's 3 groups of Lions fans right now, right? There's that guy.
Okay.
Number 1, who
eternal optimist.
We won. We beat Rodgers. We beat Brady. This team, Patricia's got him going. That's number 1. There's the guys like Bogey. This team sucks. They'll always suck. They're always going to suck. They'll never win anything. We will die before they win a Super Bowl. And they're always going to say, they're going to look at the negatives. And then there's a bunch of people in the middle.
Is that me?
That works hard. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
They work hard. They go to the game. They watch the game. They just want to see a win, right? So those are the 3 kind of groups that you dealt with today. I think today, people should just be happy. But you talked about the schedule, and you guys know this as well as I do. The next 2 games are winnable. 1 being Miami, and then it's a gauntlet of, 2 against the Bears, 1 against the Rams. You play the Vikings in there as well. Carolina comes here. They're not making the playoffs. They're not that good of a team. It's okay, but it's just how it is.
The defense isn't going to grow skills to be able to, A, get to the quarterback and cover anybody, and stop the run and do all the things that you need to do as a defense to be successful in the NFL in a 1-week bye. And then in the 1 week practicing up, there's not a lot of free agents out there just waiting for the Lions to call them and change the complexities of this defense. But again, Matt Patricia on the sidelines today during offensive drives on the bench, looking back over the plays with his defense again. You guys got an issue with that? You guys got a problem with him? Because I think that if he thinks that this offense is this offense, he's not going to have a hand in making this offense any better. But defensively, I think he still thinks there's more juice to squeeze out of this rotten orange.
Well, and I'm sure there is. If he's involved in the offense, a defensive-minded guy who's always been a defensive-minded guy, you probably have bigger problems than we actually think, Well,
an offensive lineman, too.
Amazing. And we've seen, with Tim Drevno, how good an offensive line coach can be as a coordinator. I'm just saying, you don't want a defensive-minded guy, I don't think, being involved too much in the offense. Now, if he's doing it in a key situation late and he's to make a decision, 4th and 2, you got to go for it, what do you want to do? And he's over by the defense, yes, that might be a bit of a problem, but I don't have a huge issue with that. And the thing is, too, we give the defense so much praise. I mean, yeah, Deshaun Hand, Aquara, had another, nice play as well.
Today.
Absolutely phenomenal. At the same time, you did still give up 424 yards passing and 3 touchdowns to Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of guys that we don't really know at the wide receiver spots. I know.
Soft coverage. I mean, Matt Stafford does that every week, right?
That's a good point. We're very familiar with it.
He falls behind and he picks up I like to call them the GY, the garbage yards, right?
Garbage yards.
Or rubbish, depending on what word you choose to use, right? So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't have an issue with it either. I have more of an issue with the Matt Patricia game day wardrobe. Like, what is that?
I mean, he's comfy. He's got a beard like you.
Don't you think that
Are you trying to rock the Patricia?
Yeah. Well,
is that what this is about?
It's going to take years. No.
Oh, there we go.
No, it's the right one. It's got to be the right one.
That's right here?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. We need to get you a backwards ball cap and a garbage bag to throw over the top in your sweatsuit.
He has the hat forward now. No more. Yeah. Well, that was only a week 1 thing.
Week 1 thing.
Yeah.
Going into the bye week, I guess, look, the team, we'll see if Ziggy Ansah can get back. I mean, that's a whole nother story on its own. Again, he didn't play. He's played in 1 game this year. Yeah. I think that they got to move on from him.
Got the DeAndre Levy syndrome.
Just assume he won't. Yeah.
Simple feeling with that as well.
The thing is, too, you know, with Devon Kennard, Ricky Jean-Francois, we've talked about, you know, Deshaun Hand, Kerry Hyder Jr., and, you know, getting in there a little bit more, looking more like himself today. They've been able to supplement, you know, without Ziggy Ansah, because let's be real, the guy hasn't been on the field, it seems, for like 3 years.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, not with any continuity, at least. Well, look, going into the bye week, I think the Lions are going to get healthy, hopefully, first and foremost. We'll see. Some guy tried to tweet with me today about how this team is always going to stink, and I'm going to judge them now. And I said,
that guy's probably right.
Look, let's wait until
he probably has a great point.
We see what happens in Miami after the bye week. If they drop a game to Miami, then they are back to that. I don't want to say same old Lions.
The history's going to tell you that guy's right.
Yeah, that's true.
History's on that guy's side a little bit. All right, let's move on. When we come back from this break, we will talk about Michigan trending up and the Spartans trending straight to the gutter. It's coming up next on the 7 Sports Cave. Get your tweets in, #7 Sports Cave. We'll get to those later on as well. Stay with us.